Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a bit different of a video. I want to just go over what's next, sort of what are my New Year's resolution going forward. So I'm just gonna start now. Obviously, doing more YouTube videos and video content in general. That's really what I want to focus on in 2023. Really brush up my skill because this is a skill at the end of the day, being able to sit in front of a camera, keep eye contact, speak in a way that people can understand. Just get used to doing this. It's not so easy. A lot of people think it's easier than it is, and then when you do it, it's a lot different in practice. So in 2023, I really want to focus on, having really good on-camera presentation, being able to do videos that you guys like and actually want to watch. And then my second resolution, or something I want to focus on in 2023, is I just did my concealed carry class, and I really want to get involved more in just being comfortable concealed carrying as much as I possibly can. Like in any situation, I want to be able to do it, and also not just do it, but feel really confident and comfortable in myself, confident in my ability to defend myself and anyone that I deem around me that I want to protect. So I really want to, try to go to the range at least once a month, obviously more if possible, take courses on, defense courses, other type of courses to get myself in the best position possible moving forward, because these type of things, they become maybe not just even hobbies, but lifelong things that you just have to keep practicing at. If you don't practice, you can't expect to be good if you're ever in the instance where you need to defend yourself. So I definitely want to pursue that. I also want to pursue, just becoming more knowledgeable about guns and gun safety, not in the way that you think gun safety, but like gun safety is like when you have this object, this tool, it is so paramount. You are super safe. You are super serious. That's why I'm kind of like happy I waited till now to really pursue this, because personally, it's not going to be the same for everyone. 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, they probably, some of them feel perfectly comfortable. I don't know if I had as much trust in myself, maybe because I was just more immature, younger. Now I truly understand, what is the point of these things, why you have to be so safe, why people are so serious. I've seen videos at ranges where if someone's goofing off, you get kicked out because this is such a paramount, issue. You have to be so safe and so serious around these objects. Of course, this stuff is also supposed to be fun, but you have to balance these things of fun and being responsible out. And I think that's what I really enjoy about, getting myself involved in this community, is there is such an emphasis on safety, being serious, having fun, because it still is like a hobby, a sport at the end of the day, but, really that philosophy that goes into it, that this is not a joke, this is safety, this is, much bigger. And, you obviously need to be, they have to be more serious for obvious reasons, because everyone is always, or not everyone, there are small groups of individuals who want to attack this community, people who do sportsmanship guns, just guns in general, ranges, they want to attack their rights. So they also have that added element of needing, like always having, trying to see what's behind you sort of thing. So I really want to, get really serious about this, learn more about legislation, learn more about the history in general. The legislation, I know a little bit, but there is so much going on. That's why it's kind of cool that there's a lot of there's a lot of gun magazines, gun blogs, gun just organizations where you can get a lot of information on. And that's really what I'm going to be trying to pursue in this year and moving forward in my life in general. I would say definitely that's the issue that I'm going to be focusing on, just like in my own personal life, the most in 2023, because it is such a large thing to take on. I didn't really grow up in a family where we were doing this often. Like it was around me. I was always pro Second Amendment, but, my mom wasn't like shooting or anything like that. So I didn't grow up around it in that way. My brother was very much into it, but that's just, it still wasn't around me. I grew up in Illinois and, around Chicago. So also that type of culture is not there. I mean, there is the culture, but I wasn't part of that culture. So yeah, that's going to be a large part of my 2023, especially just, having spent some time in Canada. A lot of you know, like I'm from the US. I went to Canada for university. I spent some time in Canada. Then I stayed a little during COVID. And really, like when I was there, that it was when Trudeau announced, some of the most major gun grabbing legislation in Canada's history. Canada's kind of not known for having much gun rights and guns, but there definitely was a culture there, especially hunting, but there was just in general, like, handgun type of culture as well in certain parts, not in, not where I was exactly, but there are places in Canada that have this, and really to see like what can happen made me more, coming to where I am now, where if you don't fight for this, if you're not serious about this, if you don't engage in it yourself, like you might end up like Canada. And I would rather that not happen at all. I would say a lot of people in Canada aren't very happy because I'm afforded the ability, even living in a state like Illinois, where it is a lot harder, it is more strict. It's still not as strict as it is in Canada. But just now in Illinois, a couple days ago, our governor signed new gun legislation that basically is stripping people's rights in a propagated way to make it look like they're only going against assault rifles. Well, no, this is also affecting handgun ownership, legal ownership, just legal ownership at the end of the day, because we know that criminals are not going to be following these laws. Do they ever? They already are, not abiding by the current laws on the book, or the past current laws that were on the books. So it's just another gun grab. So like that brings me into the next thing I'm really going to be focusing on this year, but it's not just going to be this year, it's going to be moving forward, because I am getting more serious about my future in general. I feel like this happens through your 20s, you kind of live and then you decide, okay, how do I want to live in the future? And my first YouTube video kind of touched upon this a little bit of like, where do I want to move next? Because where I move next, like I don't see myself staying in Illinois. I love the state. I grew up here. There's a lot of great things about this state. Like, even though people like to hate on it, it is a really beautiful state. It has really awesome history. It's not so great anymore, unfortunately, and I don't see it moving in the right direction. I actually see things really looking down, like bad, and I don't think there's anything I can do to make it turn around. So really in 2023 is when I've already started this in 2022. So this is kind of a continuation, but getting a little more serious about really determining, because where I go next, I do see myself staying for the rest of my life, raising my family, hopefully my family raising their family there, that sort of thing. Like my next home, I hope will be my forever home type of situation. So I'm really going to be spending this year and probably the year after, since, these things take time and you want to be really careful about these decisions. It's not fun to move, and it is very expensive to move. So I want to be really sure of where I'm going and tying up things in my family first, because large part of the reason I am living here is my family. Like I wouldn't be living in Illinois if it wasn't for my family. So it's really figuring out a lot of family stuff out before I can do the actual move, but I can do everything to prepare for the move. So I really want to, like, in this spring and this summer, go and visit a bunch of places. A lot of you guys have recommended places I go check out, and some of those places I am going to check out, but really learning a lot about the places that I am very interested in moving to, learning more about their local politics, which is really important when you move somewhere. A lot of people think, oh, just like the state politics matter. It's like also local politics really, really matters. Also, just knowing that things are not like, there's no, fuckery going around in your local politics. It's like sound government. You trust that government sort of thing, because locality governments kind of impact you a lot the most in your day-to-day life. And I don't see myself, I didn't really touch upon it, but like see myself staying in Illinois. One, property taxes are insane. taxes in general are insane, but really I would say the one that hits you the hardest is property tax. When it comes to income tax, it's kind of like it's bad, but it all equals out in the end. But the property tax is really where I see things just becoming really, really bad. So obviously, I'm interested in more of a low tax state. Unfortunately, I'd probably move sooner if these low tax states I'm looking at housing market didn't boom. So I'm hoping, the housing markets in some of these states I'm looking at, like Tennessee, Texas, these type of places, kind of like normalize out. Because right now I'm totally priced out of the market. There's no way I could afford it. Zero chance. And with interest rates so high, zero chance. It's not even worth it right now, because even if you are to buy right now, who's to say in 3 years it'll still be, your equity will be exactly or even similar to where you first bought it. So I want to wait a little, but while I wait, I really want to make sure where I'm going can be my forever home, and that I'm confident in my decision and where I pick, and that the local government, like, I get not get involved before I get there, but become knowledgeable about where I'll be moving. And if I want to build, know like what would that look like and things like that. So I really want to spend this year kind of like, I would say this would become, I feel like everyone feels like this, but the year that I become much more of like a serious adult. I've been an adult for a while. I've done all the serious adult things for the most part, but like really, I feel like you become an adult when you start thinking about how every action will impact, your future family and your future self, more so of just, figuring out, oh, how does this impact me in the next year or two? That's kind of how I've been living for the last few years. It's just trying to figure out, oh, so like what will my life look like in 3 years? Now I'm trying to figure out like what will my life look like when I'm 60? I feel like that's like a big, cornerstone differentiation between how I felt like this year or like last year when I first moved back to the States from Canada versus where I'm at now. It's kind of crazy how things can progress so quickly in 1 year, but also like I just feel like I'm like not a different person, but definitely a different place in my life when I was in Canada and when I moved back to the US. It's been about a year and a half or so. It's kind of crazy how fast it's gone by, and we're already in 2023. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here, talk with you guys, kind of explain what's next, talk about my social media, where I see myself in the future in general, and pretty excited. It should be fun times. I'm really excited to, feel more confident in being able to protect myself, especially living in Illinois, not too far from Chicago. But these are skills that I feel like will be very helpful lifelong. And obviously picking up a fun new hobby, a new community, that sort of thing. Let me know, what are your New Year's resolutions, or what are you hoping to achieve in the next year, and how do you want that to impact you for the rest of your life? You have, new workout routines, these type of things. Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.